Yes, guys and girls, welcome back to another podcast with myself, Luke, also known as LLCrypto. You can find me on YouTube, and my good friend here, Edo,
known as Kid.
Good. So last time we've actually done a few podcasts. You can go and check out our podcasts on YouTube where we talk about all things crypto. What have we spoken about over the past?
We've had different range of topics. We talk about Bitcoin, we talk about Ethereum, we talk about the security in this crypto space. So we talk about all these topics.
Yeah, so we've got many more things to talk about in today's episode. We are midway through September, or also known as Rectember, and we wanted to bring out the rest of the cycle. October, November, December is usually historically really good months, which we're going to show you guys in just a second. And if the cycles repeat, what will happen towards the end of this year? So I'm very optimistic for that. I don't know about yourself, Edo.
For me, I think that, I'm not as optimistic as you are. I think that, Bitcoin has started very well this year, but I don't think that the trend will continue. I'm expecting the trend to go a little bit down with Bitcoin, and then, as we know, Bitcoin drives the market, and so if Bitcoin goes a little bit down, so I think that all the market will follow.
Yeah, so agreeing away, like I do expect something massive, financial crisis or whatever to happen, maybe at the end of 2025, going into 2026. But if history repeats, then we are in for a massive ride towards the end of this year. So we're going to look at the where Bitcoin could go either way, really. We want to be objective. We don't want to be like a moon boy or completely bearish, but we want to give you the full picture. So we'll look at the history of the Bitcoin monthly returns and just compare the last few years, really. So before we get into it, just remember what we say is not financial advice, just for educational purposes only, and we also have the disclaimers in the description below. So you've got also other links as well to our Twitter and our accounts.
And as we always mention in our podcast, is that these are friendly conversations that we try to put on our channels. So it's not a financial advice, but we just like to have these conversations. And we try to share it here on our channel. So definitely not to be taken for financial advice.
Very good. So we're going to jump into the Bitcoin price in just a second to see where we're going short term and also the long term over the next year to 18 months. But before we do that, another reason why I wanted to talk about the Bitcoin monthly returns as well is because everybody right now is not extremely fear, because this would be the red zone just here. But we keep fluctuating between like 38% to 22% I saw last week. And for me personally, that indicates amazing buying opportunities to jump into your altcoins, into Bitcoin, because everything is super low. Some of these coins are still in their bear market territory. I'm not saying they can't go down even more. For example, in the week, I did show my audience VeChain. If that's okay, I'll show it. Right now. So where is VeChain? So I think VeChain will do really well. Really fantastic technology, good company, striving to do bigger and better things in the VeChain ecosystem. And if we look at look at that price.
Yeah, it has been flat.
Yeah,
compared to what it has been like 2 years ago, it hasn't done as compared to other coins. So it has a lot of potential.
So this is just one example. I'm not saying you have to buy a VeChain. I hold some, not a lot, but I did make a profit from this the last time. I didn't obviously get the top, but I did have some nice gains with VeChain in the last cycle. My point is here, VeChain is at current prices like it was pre. You see what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. The potential is very huge for this coin.
Yeah. So this is just one. There was another one that I brought out. This is just one example, and so many altcoins right now are still, for some reason, it's like they're being compressed and they're ready to
bubble.
Yeah, to pop.
Yeah.
So my theory is, well, not my theory, but what I see is if you're dollar cost averaging at these prices, you can't really go wrong.
Yeah,
I mean,
it can go down. Yeah, it can go down.
But right now, VeChain is down for the last 3 years, 92%. So can it go down another 90%? Of course, from here it could go down another 90%. But it's most unlikely because if we go back to those prices here, we're talking about bear market territory. And I mean, these things, I had a bit of a rally at the beginning of this year.
But it hasn't really gone to its full momentum compared to 2021.
Yeah, which the price back then was all the way at what, 28 cents? Yeah, 27, 28 cents. So this is just one example. Another one that I brought out last week is ApeCoin, I think. Yeah, it was this one. And similar to VeChain, I mean, this was crazy as well because ApeCoin was like $40. We're down 98%. So completely flatlined.
Yeah, it's really flat.
So of course, I'm not saying to buy these things, but it's just the point is, can it go any lower? Can it get any? If you're dollar cost averaging and looking into altcoins, these altcoins are in what, the top 100. I don't know where this coin is now, but yeah. Let me just have a look. 119. Yeah. Before it was in the top.
And it shows that Bitcoin did achieve, I mean, its momentum. I mean, at the beginning of this year, but this altcoin, they didn't happen to go at the peak compared to 2021. So they still have a lot of potential. In
so why do you think that's happened?
Maybe because Bitcoin hasn't really. Maybe because people are still expecting Bitcoin to still go higher. So people are still investing more in Bitcoin, and because generally, it's when Bitcoin is crashing that this altcoin they can pump a little bit because people can just take the money that they have in Bitcoin and try to invest it in those altcoins. So people are still heavily investing in Bitcoin at the moment, and then that's why this altcoin haven't achieved the full of their momentum. But I mean, but if you see over the past couple of weeks, Bitcoin has been flat. I think the market is a little bit boring at the moment.
Go to the chart and see this.
Yeah, so maybe people maybe this might be the time for people to say, wow, maybe if Bitcoin is completely flat, maybe let's just reinvest what we have in Bitcoin and other coins. So it could happen over the next couple of weeks.
I mean, we can see we've been flat for 196 days.
Yeah, that's a lot. So
6 months.
Yes.
6 months. It's similar to last year. I remember when we went to Spain together with some friends. From March all the way through to October. So obviously we were in Spain in the May, but from March all the way through to before we actually pumped, it was around 200 days of just complete flat. And then
all of this sudden
October, that's when
the
fun begins.
Yeah.
And I mean we went up considerably. I mean it was like 163% in Bitcoin, and then the rest of the altcoins obviously followed. But I think another reason why altcoins haven't really pumped, like VeChain and these other coins, is because there's been so much emphasis on meme coins. People have just been going all year into meme coins, and the rest of the altcoins have been like neglected, and it's just been a bit of a what's the word I'm looking for? It hasn't been at its full potential.
Yeah, it hasn't been at its full potential. Yeah, but I mean, looking at the chart again, it really shows that these altcoin they will really pump. I mean, personally, I'm kind of a little bit pessimistic as regarding Bitcoin itself. If Bitcoin can really again higher than what it has already achieved this year, kind of a little bit like not be pessimistic, but I would say skeptical. Compared, like Bitcoin could really go a little bit higher this year. But looking at this chart about these altcoins, I think that these altcoins they can really pump. Some of them could really achieve something.
Yeah, so this chart I've just brought up is the Bitcoin dominance, and for altcoins basically to absolutely pop, the Bitcoin dominance has to come down.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever look at the Bitcoin dominance a lot. But
not as much as you do, but
so we are sky high at the moment. We are almost we're touching around 60% at the moment. It looks like we have reached some sort of peak in the Bitcoin dominance. I did say on my channel this week, you can go and check out my videos, that I think 58, it won't go past 58 with the Bitcoin dominance. If it does, then it's not good news for the altcoins, because the altcoins will bleed out. But it might sound a bit of a contradiction. It's the best time to buy altcoins. Why is that? Because Bitcoin dominance is so high, altcoins are obviously so low.
Yeah.
It makes more sense to get into them now, because what will happen is, in the future, which 98-99%, if the cycles repeat, when Bitcoin does pump to that 100k level, 120k, whatever, then what will happen is eventually this will come all the way down. And when this happens, that's when the altcoins are absolutely going parabolic. And so that the reason why I say you need to buy here is because you want to catch this. So when Bitcoin dominance is coming down, that means the altcoins are at that point are pumping 100%, 200%, 3x, 5x, 10x. The mid cap, micro caps are doing stupid 50x's or 100x's. I mean, it might sound crazy, 100x, but it happens.
It does.
And
but not psychologically, you feel like at the moment the market is boring, and why invest in crypto? Psychologically, you feel like, I mean, at the moment nothing is happening, the market is flat, crypto is boring, nobody's talking as much as they are talking about it at the beginning of the year. So psychologically, you feel like, okay, maybe let's just forget about crypto for a moment and let's just go and then do something else. But as you just mentioned, this is the moment to start getting really into it and start looking at these small projects or these altcoins and see, okay, maybe I could just put something here, and who knows, maybe when at the end of the year, Bitcoin dump a little bit, those altcoins, they will be able to pump.
yeah, so basically Bitcoin needs first of all to lead the way. So that's why we were looking at this just a moment ago. With the Bitcoin price has been pretty flatline. I mean, yeah, we've been going slowly downwards, but on my channel, I mentioned that we have this beautiful bull flag playing out. So we're still inside the bull flag, and the target, if we did pump, and I did say on Thursday that we need to get to 60k, hopefully over the weekend. We hit 60k yesterday, and we need to get a bounce off that 60k Monday going into next week, so that we can go towards that next target of 64k, and we can start talking about the $70,000 level. So the price point of this bull flag is all the way around the 85k level, and for me that would be October, November.
Yeah, historically, correct me if I'm wrong, but historically in September we had a little bit of dump of the market, and I guess September and October, with this flag that we saw.
Yeah, let me mark that because it will be better.
So with this flag, I think that both scenarios are possible. Like you can either pump or you can dump.
Like I mentioned on my channel, so we have this bull flag here. So we could still come back down to these levels of 53k. The problem is, if the bull flag will be invalid if we break through the support and we come back down down towards 42k. This would be, like, for me, the worst case scenario, 42k, then the bull flag is finished. So what I mentioned on my channel this week is we have to stay inside the bull flag, the range here. So we have the support, we have the resistance. And I mentioned, and it hit the price point, really bounced off it perfectly. And then we bounced off, what was this? We did go below it to 53k. We got a bounce off it, now we're sitting at 60k. So yeah, it's invalid if we break it.
Then if you break it, are you meaning that you are getting out of the bull market?
No, not completely. We still got, if you go historically through the Bitcoin cycle, so this is why I've got this, the returns, the history, we know that the cycles are 4 years. So after the halving, usually we have 1 year of a bull run. And the halving happened when? It was in April or May of this year. So normally we have a bull run, historically, straight after the halving for 1 full year.
Yeah.
18 months max. And that's exactly what we saw in 2013. I did say on my channel that I wasn't really looking at the 2009 2013
Because
it
Bitcoin was
it was still young, it was still being developing, it was early. There was a lot of
there wasn't as
skeptical
many adoption as we have today.
So I don't compare the 2009 2013 because it was, like you said, it was young. So for me, what counted was from 2013 to 2017, when we had that next cycle, we could actually look back and compare it to the 2009 to 2013, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. And then also like 2017 to 2021.
Yeah.
But the only thing with 2021 also, we also had the pandemic in between, which for me also kind of has its effect on how the market did play out during that period. But definitely 2013 to 2017, leading to 2021, kind of give us an overall idea on how the market could still go.
Yeah, I mean the 2020 pandemic was a bit of a black. It wasn't. I mean, it was a black swan event, and so we had this period here where we crashed from 10k all the way down to, I remember this like it was yesterday, 3,800. So we actually dropped 62%. So that was when Europe went into lockdown, because the pandemic over in Asia obviously was, it started in October, November. But Western world obviously came over this way in Europe and America. The second quarter, the first year, going into the second quarter of that year of 2020, where we saw that black swan. So if that hadn't happened, most likely we would have seen something more like this. This wouldn't have happened. Sorry. This here would not have happened. That was just purely the black swan event. So for me, I don't really look too much into that because it was such a big event. I would have said that Bitcoin would have continued this trajectory. I don't know what you think to that, but that was just my thinking. I don't think we would have obviously dumped 65%.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
So it's very unlikely that would have happened. So after that, obviously we had that huge run up. This is what I was telling you, Emmanuel, earlier, when we had our friend over. It was that period here in December. So we actually had already started in October, November, and we had a pullback, but after that, so from the halving around April, May or June, we pumped all the way up here, even though it was double top, 500% into Bitcoin. Of course, we had that huge, 50% or 45%, I can't really call it a pullback, more of a dump.
Yeah, and then this was
double top.
Then this was in September 2021? 2020.
When we had the dump?
No, when we had the pump?
Yeah, it was the end of 2020.
Yeah, it was September. Yeah.
So September was Rectember, as we call it. So we had that, you see the red candle here? That was September. And then after...
having a massive pump.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
That's what we see just here, the 8% dump in September. And then October, November, December, we had 30, 40, 45.
Yeah. So, realistically, so we are September now, 4 years after. So do you think that the same story could repeat itself? Like, do you think that you could have this kind of massive pump where we go 50% of Bitcoin?
So I mentioned on my channel a few possibilities, and the one that I'm thinking of is going to be, I think bear markets will be longer and bull markets will be more parabolic but shorter. So I'm thinking we could have a carbon copy of the 2017 bull run. That's what I'm looking at. So I'm looking at this one, where we have an amazing October, November, December. And then you see what happened. January we had 25 and March 32%. So if we have I prefer that 2021 happens because it's 6 months of major upside. Because if you go into 2021, January, February, March, we had 15%, 36%, and 30%. So for me, it's just my theory that we're going to have longer longer bear markets and shorter bull markets.
Yeah, but something that will also affect the market this year. I don't know what to think, but I feel like the geopolitics as well will definitely have an impact of the market, especially towards the end of the year with the US elections coming in 2 months from now. So, I mean, if the market continues as 2017, as you mentioned, then we have a pump now and then have a dump in January.
But the last 4 years, it's always the same. When we have the Bitcoin halving and the pump, it's normally the US elections anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's true.
If you go the last 4 years and 4 years.
The cycle repeats.
So yeah, the elections, they play a part. I mean, we've had September's been big because we've had the jobs report come out, the CPI data, and then I think it's the 18th, we have another big report from the Federal Reserve. So I'm just waiting for September to finish. From the 20th of September to the end, I will be looking at more altcoins because I think October is going to be absolutely massive. And then November, December as usual. What I like in this, if we did have a green month in September, which is very rare if we look at the past history, if we do have a green month like this one, and this one, have you seen what happens after?
Then you have a huge pump after.
Yeah, 2015, pump, pump, pump. 2016, green candle, September, pump, pump, pump.
And then in January, there is a dump.
Yeah, and then 2023, green, pump, pump, pump. Not massive, but still green months. And then here at the moment, we're only 1.5% in the green. But I think we're going to have something similar to 2017. And then everybody's expecting a 500,000, 300,000, 500,000 Bitcoin. Every cycle, everybody seems to predict, they exaggerate, and it's just massive. I mean, I used to do that, but then it's, again, the cycle comes around, everybody's saying something absolutely massive. Last time they were saying we should be going to 100K, and it didn't happen. We topped out at 68K, which was fantastic. But I never even knew. And Dennis and our friends saying, no, for that cycle, there was no way we're going to 100K. But everyone was saying it. So my point is, I do believe we're going to that 6 figure this time, maybe even this year. And my prediction would be max 150,000, which is very objective, conservative, because everybody is calling for a 300, 500,000. I'm just happy if it reaches 100K.
Yeah, I mean, even though I don't disagree that Bitcoin could go to 150, I just feel like kind of too early for it to go that high. But it's true, like maybe it's me being kind of too pessimist about Bitcoin. Yeah, I know that you think that it will go that high, but
well, technically you might be right, because really the bull run is 2025. If we actually look at the cycles properly, after the halving, it's like year 0, and we have 1 year of a bull run, so that would be from the halving until next May. Then at the end of mid 2025 going into the end of 2025, that's when we have the parabolic run up, and then the bear market starts. So normally, you are right, 2025 should be the actual real bull run, and 2024 is the accumulation phase. There's still a bull, because we're going up. We've been going up from 15,000 all the way to now. It hasn't done that bad. I mean, that was 2023, sorry, but from 2024, I mean, we've actually increased by, what was this? January to here, we're up, 40% for the year? It's not much. If we go back January 2023, we're up 250%.
Yeah, that's enough. Yeah.
So this is the accumulation phase, really, before that massive parabolic run up, and then we go enter the bear market. So yeah, we've got a lot of things to look forward to. I mean, for me, that's just my opinion. September, Rectember, like we've said, October, November, December is going to be, in my opinion, absolutely epic. And don't forget, there's some news here about BlackRock now controls 2%, which is absolutely massive, of the total Bitcoin supply. So there's a lot of fear a lot of uncertainty, a lot of the weak hands jumping out. Those that are left at this moment, BlackRock, massive institutions, Michael Saylor, etc., Cathy Woods, all that lot, old timers that have been in crypto for several years, and any newbie out there, maybe you're in it, fantastic, keep going, stick to your plan. But it seems like the weekends are jumping out, and we're only moments away now going into that bull phase. So there's a lot of fear, and for me, when I smell that fear, that's the opportunity to buy.
I wish I could be as optimistic as you are.
But time will tell. I mean, this is just our opinion.
I mean, that's true. I mean, it's true to have this conversation, and then again to have different opinion about how this market will evolve, and because we can always go back to this conversation and see, okay, maybe we were right.
Yeah, I mean, last year I had because I'm obviously a teacher, and I was teaching about this last June. I think it was 2024, because I had my classes, and we were, wait there, it wasn't 2024, it was 2023. It's 2023, June, July, I had some classes, and this is when we went to, just before we went to Spain, and I was talking about $100,000 Bitcoin to the students. They said I'm absolutely crazy, and that was when Bitcoin was still in the 20,000. Right now, we're touching 60,000, so we've already done.
Yeah, I mean, now
3x.
It's more likely than you.
So yeah, I saw this student, and she couldn't believe where it was, and the last time I spoke to her, it was around 25,000. So yeah, this is just the beginning, because next year Bitcoin is hitting that $6-figure mark, and most people are going to miss out on it. So anyway, that's it for today's episode. So let us know what you think to the Bitcoin monthly returns, the Bitcoin cycle. If you are as optimistic, as crazy as I am,
or then as pessimistic or skeptical as I am.
Exactly. So let us know in the comments section below. So please go ahead and comment. Subscribe to our channels. We'll leave links to our channels in the description below. And yeah, we'll see you next time with another podcast. So thank you for sticking to the end, and we'll see you next time.
I'll see you next time.
Bye.